us a strict number on the pitch limit for Cabrera, but he's in the 70s now, and 22 in the first, so at least in terms of guys on base, and it's a low-scoring game, so they are all stressful pitches, but in terms of having to play a lot of bases loaded, no out, Jan, there haven't really been any of that today. I do. Hits, knocks. Called strike 3. Perfect pitch with the curveball right at the bottom of the zone. Back-to-back inning into 3 straight, going back to the 4th.
He's starting to get real sexy with it out there. That is a breaking ball that hits the bottom corner of the zone. And that was another 3-pitch strike. So, thank you for coming.
He gets ahead of Christopher Morel, 0-1. He struck out back in the 3rd inning. The 8 so far for Cabrera, who is ahead 0-2.
Well, remember last time we were on the night, went 3 pitches, he went fastball, slider, curveball, thanks for coming. Right now he's going slider, and he's 0-2, so we'll send him packing it up.
Missed upstairs. He had thrown a ball to Yan Gomes, but sometimes those immaculate innings, they move quick. Even before ball 1 to Morel, he missed one out of the zone, but man, he is throwing rockets up there. This one on the backhand, LeBlanc makes the throw over first. Coop applies the tag, and the inning is over on just 11 pitches. Cabrera is through the 5th. He hasn't given up a hit yet.
Let's talk about the bullpens. Their starters are averaging 6+ innings a game, by far the best in the league.
It's the question of bullpen. With all the superstars on the court, the problem has to be in the front office. They have the elite quarterback. They have the skilled players around them. When the deepest area is weight, the athletic delivers exclusive access to the stories.
Inside the building stations gone for this year.
With personalized coverage built around your team. Subscribe today for $1 a month at theathletic.com/TV.
The thing that's different about a Gerber vacation home, you always have the whole place to yourself. Just you and your people.
Our playbook has countless guys' hairstyles because we know no 2 guys are ever alike. Good fade, great texture, less pop or adore.
Hey, nice haircut.
Here's to those with homework this summer, group projects, and workshops. Here's to those with morning meetings, networking events, and Zoom sessions. Here's to those with summer jobs and the truck that goes to work with them. Ram, built to serve.
Here's the line there for Cabrera. Let's take a listen to what we heard when he came to the dugout. He said, "That's it. Great work. You did your job. Certainly a great outing, a great comeback off the IL. We'll chat with Mel now. But 3 walks, 8 strikes."
Hey, Molly, how's it going?
In 5 innings of work. And here's a look at the strikeouts today.
We'll see that he split it up evenly pretty much.
We'll get started here in a little bit. Just wait, see a few more people trickle in.
He's got one curveball, so he's got a ton of weapons. You know, obviously, Stat Cats ran it out. There's 5 sliders and 4 curveballs. So he's got a.
What'd you think of the Yankees trade deadline there, Molly? What'd you think? What could they have done differently? What could they have done better? Or what did they do good?
It's not for today. Right? The Marlins are not necessarily playing for today. And the history of the whole thing is still a long way to go. It's through 5. It's coming off an elbow tendonitis thing. Worked his way back. Not even said before the game, we're not going to push it. We're going to keep an eye on it. Same thing that they've done with Luzardo. Can't have him go out there and throw 120 pitches. So you do, in my opinion, you do it now. You take him out now. He's giving you 5. Very good
definitely a new situation. You have Washburn goggles on, warming up in the pen, but
All right, well, we'll get started now.
pull them out.
Other people trickling in. Cool, awesome. So, the Yankees did make some moves, as you know. Well, what do you think of them? Do you think they could have done things better? Could they have made more improvements? What do you think?
So it's been impressive body of work as of late for Edward Cabrera.
Yeah, I thought so too, but they didn't. I mean, it was probably better because by not going after Soto, they were able to spread their prospects around to get more pieces that they needed. For example, Benintendi, Montez. I think he will. I think he'll definitely do that, especially since he has a chance to be a one of a select few that could win the World Series with both the Red Sox and the Yankees.
That's the biggest thing. I think that the Marlins' offensive struggles have been the lack of traffic. We have quite a bit of it all over the city of Miami.
What did you think of the video that Jason had put out today about the Pablo Sanchez news? Or Pablo Lopez, excuse me.
So that's the biggest thing. You can't score runs other than a home run without guys on base. And the problem is they're not.
Yeah, it was definitely a shocker to hear that the GM might have had something to do with that deal getting squashed.
And that's kind of what it's been as of late.
2 balls and 2 strikes to De La Cruz. This one's in the air out towards center. Ortega froze, dealing with the
Definitely shocking. Definitely shocking. I definitely agree with that. Can you hear me okay, by the way? Just making sure. Sounds good.
Join the Miami Marlins on Friday, August 12th for a post-game party presented by Sedano's exclusive.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Awesome.
Rewards is free, and you can reward fans for their engagement with
What
the Miami Marlins.
What's your take on the whole Jordan Montgomery facing the Yankees for the first time in a different uniform?
And much more. Learn more at marlins.com/postgame party.
Let's be clapping in the background. Did I do okay? I'm full of troll. Wow, crushed that out of the park.
4 years of Spanish in high school.
Not a big deal.
Definitely awkward. Definitely awkward. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. It's going to be weird facing him, not actually having him pitch for us.
JJ Bleday, a few days later from his major league debut. A lot of youth on both these rosters scored a lot of in-game jackpot. Pirates are the youngest, then the Cubs, and then the Marlins. With youth, sometimes comes some growing pains. Discuss.
That is for sure, and especially at this level. And if you haven't faced adversity, some guys fly through the minor leagues, put up big numbers, get to the big leagues. I had this.
But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see how everything turns out. I do feel bad for Cole too. I think that Cole should not be pitching to Higgy. He should be pitching to Trevino. The stats have proved that he should be pitching to Trevino. With Trevino, he has a sub-3 ERA. And pitching to Higgy, he has I believe it's a 4 or above ERA. But he definitely pitches better to Trevino. But yes, it is going to be awkward to have Cole and Monty on opposite sides, and I do feel bad for him because they were close when he was with the Yankees. So I agree with that. I totally think that's going to be, weird for Cole, and it's going to be weird for Monty. And the guys who were around him a lot.
And it's the Braves. The point of it is, Marlins have one of, if not the toughest remaining schedules.
Let's see. We'll see. I mean, I think they might. I'm not sure who they'll go after in particular, but I do think they will go after someone. I think they will more than likely try to re-sign Benintendi. I also do think they're going to do their absolute best to keep Aaron Judge in pinstripes. Whether or not that happens is a completely different story. We have to see because, as Jason has said before, if he gets a deal or an offer for $350 million, he's not going to leave that extra $50 million on the table to come back to play for the Yankees. It's that simple. No one's going to turn down $350 million to take a hometown discount for a team when he's got that much money on the table. That they will re-engage in contract talks or that they will re-sign him.
Call strike three, couldn't pull the trigger. Yeah, you can't. You got to let guys figure it out. Sometimes that means stand a little. Middle of the sixth, scoreless.
Okay. I hope so. That's not the person I want to lose. I have said personally, I would re-sign him, but I would re-sign him to a contract that is not going to be 10 years. I'm not doing that for a 31-year-old outfielder who's had 2 out of 5 seasons healthy. I'm not willing to risk that kind of a contract. He's on the wrong side of 30 for it anyways, but I do think that he will get paid or he's going to test getting paid. I mean, he's certainly making a case for himself. He leads the majors, I believe it is, in homers, and the AL, he leads first in all hitting categories as far as I know, except for maybe batting average, but I do think that he will get paid this offseason. But I do hope we re-sign him. Definitely hope that. That's not a bet I want to lose. But mind you, it will cost a pretty penny. He's not going to come cheap. Not with the numbers he's putting up this year. He's clearly proven that he deserves the money. If he wants to go out and test the market, that's his right to. He has every right to go out, test the market to see if he can get paid. He has all the right to do that. And someone's going to pay him. Whether it be the Yankees, I don't know. But someone will pay him. What's up, backstage? If you haven't hit that like button, guys, hit that like button so we can get these likes up. I appreciate you guys coming in, spending some time with me today. Appreciate the support everyone's giving me. And I appreciate everything that that you guys have done for the channel. It's really helpful and greatly appreciated. So I appreciate that. How you doing, bud? How's it going backstage? Not bad, man. Not bad. What did you think of the trade deadline for the Yankees this year backstage?
Madrigal 0 for 1.
Carlos
Yesterday,
Rodon, Molly, I do think was
White Sox across town with 4. They're all back
an
in
interesting
18.
name to be thrown out there for the Yankees because he tends to break down at a certain point, innings wise, where whatever point that might be. So I'd be very surprised if the Yankees signed him, but then again, I wouldn't be. So, what did you think the best move or moves were backstage in Mali for the Yankees this trade deadline? Because they made a lot of improvements. They definitely upgraded. They definitely got the positions that they needed to upgrade, and they definitely and most absolutely got themselves a couple nice bullpen pieces. And I don't know if you saw Jason's video, but they just signed a reliever today. Yes, Bader is definitely an underrated move. I 100% agree with that. I happen to like the move. As much as we didn't get that second starter that we needed and we traded a starter for him, that was an underrated move. And he is definitely an upgrade over Hicks. And I think that it's going to be good to have Bader because he's just the right-handed version of Benintendi. So I agree with that 100%. Absolutely. Yes, the Marlins did play us 100%, especially since they had been in talks for days before the trade deadline. Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. Captain's good, actually. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was really interesting to watch. Very interesting. Yeah, Montez, that was a major boost to this rotation. I do think that'll also give Cole a a safety net, and that means he doesn't have to work as hard to doesn't give him as much pressure. It takes some of that off of him. But yes, Cole does need to pitch well. You're absolutely right backstage. He does need to pitch better, especially in the playoffs. Molly, it is very good. You will absolutely like it. What did you think of it backstage? Totally agree. Totally agree. You guys excited for the Yankees Cardinals series this weekend?
It's same as pitching. Pitchers will say that all the time. You throw the wrong pitch with
Me too. We definitely have some pretty evenly matched up pitching matchups this weekend. Game one, we got Nestor Cortez, who's 9-2 with a 2.53 ERA, and Daniel Hudson, who's 6-6 with the 4.10 ERA in game one. Nice. What stadiums are you hitting up there backstage? For game 2, we've got Domingo Germán, who's 1-1 with a 6.39 ERA, and former Yankees number 4 pitcher Jordan Montgomery, who is 3-3 with a 3.69 ERA. Wrigley, I heard, is nice. I heard a lot of good things about Wrigley. Definitely a stadium that I know a lot of people do enjoy going to because of the history and everything about it. Detroit, I haven't heard much about. Milwaukee, I haven't heard much about either. But you definitely got to let us know how that is and how the road trip goes. Definitely interested to hear about that backstage. Have fun on that. And then in game 3, to round out the series, the Yankees are sending newly acquired Frankie Montas, who's 4-9 with a 3.18 ERA, up against Adam Wainwright, who is 8-8 with a 3.11 ERA. So that's the pitching matchups for the St. Louis Yankees series this weekend. Oh, awesome backstage. Definitely. We'd love to see that when you're done. Other than the Pablo Lopez move that should have happened but didn't, were there any moves that you would have liked to have seen been made? Let's see here. Molly, Frankie Montas got 47, which was his number in Oakland.
Move up. Is at third base. Sega at second. Martin's bringing
Sit here.
maybe halfway on the left side of the infield. Certainly up. Ball and 2 strikes. Off the glove with a strikeout right here. Contreras, that's a foul ball. Foul ball. Underdog came home. He wasn't sure, and now Stallings is asking if it was fair.
So he's trying to say that if it gets fair, it's fair territory. That's what he's trying to.
Yes, agreed. Absolutely right. Backstage, you are not wrong. They made a lot of improvements. Definitely. You're right on the money with that. From getting Montas, which was probably the biggest acquisition in my opinion, to bolster that rotation, to the Benintendi trade, which really was an upgrade from Joey Gallo, as well as the 2 pitchers that we got for the bullpen, Scott Efros and Lou Trevino. But they did a great job, and Brian Cashman did everything he could to have improved that team and make it better and make it stronger. And we are 10 times better than what we were from the beginning of the season. I saw that too, Molly. I saw he grew his beard back. I don't know if you guys heard, but after Gallo got traded to the Dodgers, he said that he can't wait to face us in the World Series so he can beat us. he might have been rough backstage, but I agree with what Michael Kay said. He definitely was not good at all here in New York. He did not produce. He struck out way too many times, and he just wasn't the right fit in New York. It wasn't a good fit, plain and simple. As rough as Kay might have been, he definitely, yeah, he hit the nail on the head. This was not a good fit for Gallo. He was just atrocious with us. Hey, that's okay if you're a Gallo fan. Absolutely, you have the right to do that, man. If you like Gallo, I'm absolutely for it. If that's who you want to root for. I just didn't think he was a good fit here, and I hope he does well in LA. I really do. I wish him the best of luck. He, I hope he does well. Maybe he found a better fit in LA that just he couldn't find here in New York. So I wish him the best of luck, and hopefully he does well out in LA. He should take, and he should only take the subway once. I agree. The Yankees do that a lot. They really do. I don't know why they do it like that, but they do. They just what they do is they bring guys up, send them down. Bring guys up, send them down. And it's the same guy every time. Look at Andahar, for example. He's been brought up and sent down so many different times that his confidence has probably been killed. And it really ruins and affects a guy's career. And the Yankees do that a lot. I don't know why they do it. It doesn't matter why they do it or why they think a guy should be up and then down, up and then down, up and then down, up and then down. If that's how it's going to be, then you might as well trade him. And guess what? Esteban Florial is another perfect example of that. I wish I could be at Yankee Stadium too, Molly. That would be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I'm not in New York because of work, but that would be fun. But backstage, you're absolutely right, bud. They do bring guys up and down a lot. Oh, that's awesome. That must have been a lot of fun to be at. My last time at Yankee Stadium was right before I got married, and a buddy of mine from back home took me to the game. It was a game the Yankees won, of course, but we sat in the bleachers with the bleacher creatures, and that was a lot of fun. So that was the last time I went to a game that I can remember. There probably was one more time, but anyways. Oh, that's awesome. How was that, Molly? That sounds like it was a lot of fun, and everyone was, raucous and, the normal Red Sox-Yankees rivalry. Nice. Were they just Yankee games, or were they other teams as well? Yeah. Fenway is tough. That is a tough place to go to. But Yankee Stadium's not any easier. Oh, nice. I remember you went to Baltimore to Oriole Park at Camden Yards, I think it is, that you went to. What were the other two?
Here's the pitch. Called strike three. Great spot for Bronzevon. Back-to-back strikeouts and now 2 outs in the inning.
Well, it's even better if you
Oh, nice. How was Arizona?
considered looking. That was 98 at the bottom of the zone, and that was filthy. That was so
Awesome, man. I've been to Dodger Stadium too, and I actually got to go to Dodger Stadium when I got to see the Cubs visit the Dodgers. That was fun. That was a fun experience. I also got to go to Petco for the World Baseball Classic. I don't know if you guys remember the year that the U.S. won, but that year that they played the Dominican Republic and knocked them out, the play where Adam Jones made that outstanding catch to Rob Machado of a home run, I was about 10 feet away from that catch. I meant to ask you guys, what do you guys think of that Soto trade and how all that all played out? Nice. Did you were you in Yankee Stadium when you got one of his home run balls there backstage? Awesome. That's awesome. What did you guys think of that Soto trade and how all that played out? I know. I wasn't surprised though that Hosmer used his no trade clause to go and void the deal to the Nationals. I'm not surprised about that. The Red Sox deal, I am a little surprised about. I would have thought he would have tried to go to a contender, such as Houston or Minnesota, and try and be on a team that's going to be in the postseason and contend. Yes, he did get mad about that. He was not happy about it. Yeah, I remember seeing something about that, but yeah, he was not happy about that. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing, bud? Thank you for dropping in, man. Jonathan, I mean, I understand why they did it. And I like the trade. I do like the trade. I think it was, it was beneficial. But after hearing what happened between the Marlins and the Yankees, I think that I understand why that trade went down between the Cardinals and Yankees for the Yankees to get Bader. So Aaron Hicks was apparently a part of that deal. Yeah, I mean, they probably could have. They definitely probably could have. But you have to remember his last 4 starts, Monty's, were atrocious. He got lit up by the Mets. And I think the Red Sox was another one. And there were 2 other teams I can't remember, but he got beat up pretty good. So I can understand why they decided to trade him and why that went down. We'll see backstage. Maybe facing the Cardinals is just what the Yankees need. They need some, competition in the National League and playing National League team. But remember, guys, this is adversity for them. They haven't faced that much adversity all year. I mean, the next few series are going to be tough. There's no doubt about it. There's going to be a lot of tough series coming up. We got the Mets. We got Toronto. We got Tampa Bay for starters. I mean, St. Louis is not going to be any easier than those teams. I mean, St. Louis has a good team. I mean, they're not playing up to what they should be, but they have a very good team. With Arenado at third, Goldschmidt at first. So, I mean, they just traded for Monty, and they also traded for Quintana. So, I mean, they're legit. They're going to be there until the end. I can promise you that. So I don't know if he's about to get lit up by the Yankees. Maybe his move from the Yankees to the Cardinals might give him an extra boost of energy and adrenaline because he's facing his former team. Yeah, his last 7 games, Jonathan, you're absolutely right, have been dismal. Absolutely dismal. So you're not wrong about that. He definitely, 100% has had a horrible last 7 games. So those are some good stats you brought up, man. Good job. I definitely encourage that. If you guys know something you want to share it, please, by all means do. So we'll see. I mean, maybe that's maybe what Montgomery needed was a change of scenery. All right, man. You can absolutely do so backstage. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. And yeah, we'll work something out. Don't worry, bud. I got you on that one. Have a good night, man. Be safe. Have a safe weekend. And I'll see you next time. Yeah, I don't think anyone was. Yes, Molly, backstage baseball. Yeah, I don't think anybody was expecting that trade. I think that was the one deal that nobody expected. But, it came to fruition. It happened. And, we got Bader. Yes, he's on the IL. Yes, he'll be back in September, I think it is. But, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the most surprising thing was how close they were to getting Pablo Lopez, excuse me, and then everything just falling through.
You know what? Good for you. JP was asking for the address of Lone Depot Park, and now you've given that address. So thank you very much. In case he ever wants to send a card, now a jumbo shrimp.
My pleasure.
Very nice.
What did you think of the Soto trade, Jonathan?
But, every team has to deal with it, say it over and over again. But
So, from what I heard, what's up, Yankees fan 360? How you doing, man? So, what I heard, it was Hicks, Torres,
getting guys back and finishing strong, JP, can be really good.
and I want to say a couple of prospects. I know Peraza was one of those prospects, but I don't know who else was involved in that. But that's what I heard, that Miami was going to take Hicks, Torres, Peraza, and that would have gotten Hicks off of our books, which would have been great because that contract is, as we know, has been a bust. Let me find out for you, Molly. They play the Mets at the stadium Monday, August 22nd, and Tuesday, August 23rd. And yes, it will be at Yankee Stadium, Molly. Guys, if you haven't hit that like button already, please do. Let's smash those that like button and get these likes up. I just want to say I appreciate everyone coming on tonight and spending some time with me. I appreciate it. Channel appreciates it. I'm an up and coming channel, and I appreciate all the support you guys have given me while I've started my channel. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I definitely think if Gore does not turn out the way that Washington is hoping for, that ballpark is going to be empty. But mind you, Gore is injured. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not just if he performs or not, it's how he performs after coming off an injury. I do think, though, that San Diego won the trade deadline this year, hands down. I mean, they got Drury, they got Bell, they got Soto, they even got Josh Hader off the Brewers. I didn't see that coming. I did not see Josh Hader leaving Milwaukee to go to San Diego, especially since Milwaukee, I believe, is in first place in their division. Let me just check that, though. Yes, Milwaukee is tied for first with St. Louis in their division. But I guess it's because at some point he's going to have to get paid. And they didn't think they could afford him. So I can see why they moved him.
We were in a one-bedroom apartment and we definitely needed more space. That was the absolute best change in our family.
What did you guys think of the Hader deal? Were you guys surprised by it? Were you expecting it? Did you see it coming?
Carefully crafted with Valencia orange peel, blend is one without. Something this unique could hang together. But it looks best. Super spice.
Oh, I agree. I'm always skeptical about it too. But the reason why I like that deal for Bader is because he is the right-handed version of an Andrew Benintendi. He's got speed. He's a top 10 outfielder, and in fielding wise, and he can make contact.
First hit by pitch. So it is Joey Wendell. For 3 today for Wendell. Hold up.
Why can't you watch tonight's game, Molly? I mean, you could. You could you could compare him to Brett Gardner, but Brett Gardner was more of a scrappy player, not really like what a Benintendi is, but you could compare him to Brett Gardner. I mean, that's not a bad comparison.
Still have to deal with it every so often. So when you bring him in for a lefty with 1 out, he still has to possibly face it. But always tough. Let's go, let's match.
Ah, gotcha.
He only has 2. Fastball and a slider.
That is the pitch of the decade out of the bullpen. Like everybody.
Slider. Because it looks like the fastball the longest, right? So that's why that is such a good pitch. There's a lot of velocity out there. You want to mimic the fastball for as long as possible.
Yeah, good contact, good speed, defense with a little power. You're right. You're not wrong about that.
Very happy feet out on those bases trying to.
You didn't what, Molly?
Keeps that one close. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With the 2-2 to Wendell. Bouncer right side. It's by Madrigal in the right center field. Williams is going to come in to score. And the Marlins
Yeah. Very shocked and a little surprised. Agreed.
Well, I gotta give credit when credit's due. Jessica Blaylock talked about Joey Wendell being a professional hitter.
Was there anyone that you hoped the Yankees had gotten other than Pablo Lopez or Juan Soto?
That second hop really shot through the infield. Usually that's the one that gets some speed. It's a nice base hit for Joey Wendell. Finally, Alder is no longer usage on the scoreboard.
Biggie moved to third on the base hit for Wendell. He had been 1 for his last 24. That's a big one right there. Gives the Marlins the lead. Pitch to Cooper. Inside corner for a strike. That is looped over to second base. Madrigal makes the play. There are 2 outs. Now work from Baptistella.
Was there any other players you think they should have gotten, Jonathan? Other than Lopez and Soto?
Marlins have a run on a Wendell RBI single. Run charge to Holman, who left after an out. We'll bring up Aguilar, first and third, 2 outs. Now for bouncing quick stacks. Look at this. Catcher's interference was this. See, that's how Aguilar got on base back in the fourth. 5th time this year.
That's tough to do.
And you probably had.
Yeah, I agree. Lopez was definitely the top choice. I don't know if the Giants put Logan Webb on the block, and I don't know even know if they made him available. But yeah, if they did, we could have gotten him. That would have been a nice pickup too. Logan Webb's got some really good stuff.
A lot of times what happens with guys that, yeah, like I said, they allow the ball to travel very deep. And it's like they have this path where they get down deep and you go and reach for the pitch.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of all these Yankees channels that they have. They should just keep it simple, stick with 1 or 2, and call it a day. And I think that's the problem now, Molly, is that not a lot of people do have Prime or Apple TV, so it makes it harder to watch games. So I agree with you on that, and I do think that they should limit or take away some of those TV deals.
Runner was on the move, and that one is line foul. Retreat to first base.
You gotta be careful over there at third base. Mickey Road is way off third base with McKinstry, being back. That foul ball, that was almost right at him right there. And you see how close he's getting down the line. Now McKinstry starting to move down. He has to go back. Way down.
Makes it harder to watch games for you.
Scary place to be if you're the right-handed hitter.
Oh, yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Aguilar goes down on strikes, and the inning is over for the Marlins to get 1. Now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by
Yeah, that did sting a little bit, letting Waldichuk go. But I think that if we didn't, we wouldn't have gotten Montez. I do think that, as much as it hurts to see him go and that he has that potential, it's what we needed to do in order to acquire Frankie Montas. Because if you think about it, we didn't give up Peraza. We didn't give up Volpe. We didn't give up Dominguez, and we didn't give up Wells. So we still have our top 4 prospects. So, I mean, in a way, it's a win that we still have them, even though Waldichuk was the one that had to go.
Something this unique, good and new.
I mean, if you think about, look at what the Mariners gave up to get Luis Castillo. They got fleeced, completely fleeced. They gave up their number 1, 3, 5, and 10 prospects. So for the Yankees, that would have been Volpe. I think it's either Dominguez or Peraza, Waldichuk, and then I think it was Medina, who was their 10 prospect. Whatever it was, the Mariners got fleeced. So, in a sense, it was better that we didn't get Castillo and we did let Waldichuk go to Oakland in that deal for Montaz.
Welcome back inside our broadcast booth here in Chicago. Paul Severino, JP here in Sabia. We got Greg Intermedi downstairs as well. Thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon. 3-day games here at Wrigley Field. The Marlins finally break through.
Well, it was nice to see it. And Joey Wendell's a guy that every single time that he has an at bat, you know that he's going to give you the best at bat. Probably in this line, the toughest at bat. He's going to foul off pitches because he stayed on the fastball and left the line. He brought him in just to face Joey Wendell. And he sneaks a hit by the second baseman. So nice job right there.
He just took a pitch runner at the time, and then the third baseman. He was his first pitch is in there for a called strike. So Bender in on in relief with a couple different Marlins looking at it start was very impressive today. Edward Cabrera.
No, I know Cabrera was not. And I love the use of the pitches. He has four, like the fastball, side of the curveball, the change. But the bigger pitches later in the game start giving strike one. And when you get ahead strike one, now the hitters have to come from behind, which makes them a little bit more tentative, which allows a little bit more decisive swings. You saw a lot more check swings. But I mean, 8 punch outs, didn't give up hit, walk 3. What do you say? How can you say that he didn't do good other than the walks? I mean, coming off the IL, that was a very impressive start for Edward Cabrera.
His first major league start since mid-June. That was against the Houston Astros. He won't be getting a decision today as the Marlins scored after he was gone. However, Marlins can still pick up a win. Boy, would they like to do that when you start to pick up wins a little more often as we move further into August here, especially against a Cubs team that has been struggling as well. Cubs have lost 5 in a row.
You win one more. You win one today, you win one more.
What do you guys think about or what do you think? They were talking a little bit about Wells possibly moving over to first base. That's what they were talking about at one point. Whether or not they do that, we don't know. It's yet to be seen. They could also use him as a DH. They could DH him. They could play him at first. They could catch, have a rotation of catchers. I guess we are going to have to wait and see about, where Wells will ultimately be playing. So, that's TBD.
One pitch to Yan Gomes. This is outside.
Where do you think he'll play, Jonathan? What are your thoughts on that? Or Molly?
Take it a little bit low. Gomes today, 2 strikeouts. Both of those against Cabrera.
Yeah, I'd say so. I also think the Yankees bringing him up and sending him back down has also hurt. I do not think that helps. The Yankees, for some reason, like to do that. And they like to toy with their prospects. So they bring a guy up. He does well. They send him back down. They bring him back up. Does well. Sends him back down. And it's a vicious cycle that continues. Don't know why they do it, but they do it, and it really can hurt a kid's career.
It's outside, a 1-out walk.
I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute or so. But, yes, I agree. That definitely needs to be updated in the CBA. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for who came on today and spending some time with me. I want to thank you guys again for coming on and joining me as the Ford Train Express makes its debut live. It is grateful to the channel. I do appreciate the support everyone has given me while I've been trying to build up the channel. So thank you guys so much for that. I will try to do another live stream next week on Friday, same time. I will also try to put out more videos when I get anything else, any more baseball news or whatnot. But I want to thank you guys again so much for the support and coming on. Until next time, have a good night. Over and out.
Now it's Morrell, tying run in scoring position.